is talking about there, but this is Wisconsin, so we know it's not going to last long.
Yeah, certainly. Meteorologist Chris Reece is joining us this morning with more on when we might see a more active weather forecast. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, guys, and that's right. And of course, one of the things you always have to look at, especially as meteorologists who are looking for when the weather could get active again, you've got to look at the upper air temperature pattern along with the jet stream. And so we're going to start with that as we keep up with this pattern. Here it is going into Thanksgiving, and we've talked about for a couple weeks now how the pattern may trend milder with the split flow. That still looks to take shape. The cold air initially getting pinched off and then sent back to Canada. Beyond that, though, chilly air begins to work its way on in after Thanksgiving, pushing the milder air to the south, and then that chilly pattern likely settles in for a couple of days or so, pushing the jet stream across the southern and eastern half of the country. This is the type of pattern that leads to active weather around here. And so I'm just going to show you guys some of the models we look at to help forecast the weather and what they show beyond Thanksgiving. So we've started out with Thanksgiving. Here's the American model known as the GFS. It has a rainstorm across the eastern half of the country following Thanksgiving, followed up with a system across the upper Midwest as well that brings more rain and snow to the eastern half of the country, and then it tapers off to a lot of flurries around here and light snow systems. But then you have the European model. It's even more robust with the rain system right after Thanksgiving over the eastern half of the country. And that is then followed up with another system over the plain states. That works its way into the upper Midwest with more rain and snow for the eastern half of the country. And that lingers around for some time. And those are, again, not forecasts, but nonetheless, we are watching how those play out. But as you go through the next 6 to 10 days, we are looking at a very likely probability of above average precipitation over the eastern half of the country through the Midwest and even parts of the West Coast, which of course we know need the rain. But we extend that beyond 6 to 10 days. We go towards 2 weeks. We are still looking wet across a large part of the country. And so that is what we're going to be looking for essentially. But this follows up what the upper level jet stream and temperatures are likely going to be doing and tells us, yes, there is support or an active pattern as we round out November and into December, which we know is a cold period around here. So that could maybe lead to above normal snowfall as well. We'll keep an eye on that.
Boy, I feel like we deserve a break after all the rain we saw this summer and fall.
We really do, but sometimes you get stuck in those patterns where it's just active and it's hard to break them. And I really think that for a lot of folks, we're going to see that active pattern continue, whether that's here, whether that's down south in Kentucky, just somewhere on the eastern half of the country.
The Farm Babe warned us that that first weekend of December always tends to be pretty tumultuous.
Well,
so
we'll see what happens. Let's buckle up.
Might as well now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
So things are looking pretty good out there for your drive so far this morning. We'll see how things are shaping